Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EURUSD. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Welcome everybody, this is the technical video research about the Forex market. It's dedicated to the euro currency, and as usual we'll talk about the euro currency today. Well, on the daily time frame there's mostly nothing to comment, since it's very shallow price action in the terms and then the scale of the euro on the scale of the daily time frame. All just we could see is just intraday sessions that market is forming during the nearest recent 3-4 days. So we see this continuation of this plunge to the downside. That was the inside trading session. This also inside, since all that price action stands inside this range of that bar. Also you can see that market during this retracement has hit nearest fib resistance 138.47 that we have discussed during the previous couple of days. Well, in general what we say, this was really nice thrust to the upside. Market has hit middle range between the 50% support and 618 support, when probably, since market has significant momentum during this price action, maybe we could count on some deeper retracement somewhere to the 139.50, maybe even to 140. This is 618 resistance from that swing to the downside, but currently it's very difficult to forecast that, since on the intraday charts I do not see any clear pattern that could point on some significant continuation move to the 140 area, because price action on the inside intraday charts is very choppy and sloppy, and all that we could do based on the intraday charts, some maybe very short-term scalp trades based on the nearest fib extensions, and very short-term patterns maybe on the even on the 15-minute chart or the 5-minute chart. On the daily time frame we see that trend currently is bearish. Market has hit some support and shows some kind of retracement. How deep the retracement this will be, it's very difficult to say based on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, what do we see? 4-hour time frame is still bullish, as we said yesterday, and that assume that probably market will continue move to the upside and will show some deeper retracement. And our assumption was that probably market could show some greater ABCD pattern that's now is happening. So market is forming this greater ABCD pattern, and all that pattern could give us something like the Gartley's 222 sell, this initial swing, and ABCD retracement. This pattern calls Gartley's 222. And the target of this ABCD pattern stands slightly higher than this confluence resistance 144, 38.47, 138.63. The target of this pattern is 138.73. So that's some kind of agreement at confluence resistance. It's a rather strong area of resistance, and you can see market hasn't quite reached it. So it has passed 618 extension 137.89 that was discussed yesterday, and now just stands in some consolidation. Probably it could continue move to the upside. Well, another important moment, that market now stands above the monthly pivot point. It returns right back. Currently it's a bit early to talk that monthly sentiment on the market has changed on the bullish, but we just should keep in mind this fact, and probably we could use it a bit later. Well, if market will start to show some significant move to the upside, though it's hardly will happen based on that price action. This is really just retracement price action, not the first move is with that behave on the market. On the hourly time frame, it's very interesting price action for investigation. So what we see, it's a bit overloaded with the different fib extensions, but I think that you will easily understand it. Well, this is the first fib extension that we talked about during the starting of that retracement. A, B, C, bottom. Market has hit 100%, just slightly continued high to the 127, and then shows deep retracement to the downside, just a bit deeper than 618 from that swing line. Okay, the rest target is 1618 extension from that ABCD pattern. Since this retracement bottom was above the C point, this ABCD pattern is still valid, and market has the chances to reach 138.87, 1618 target. Then the next ABCD pattern, A, B, C bottom. This is our large ABCD. Market has hit 618. It continued to the upside, so has shown real plunge to the downside. That is, if you remember, we have discussed this possibility. We said that we do not know will market continue above 618 target or not. So because market could turn to the butterfly, and you have entered short in that area with the stops above this point, as we discussed yesterday, you could make some significant amount of pips during this plunge to the downside. Okay. So later market has returned right back and accelerated further to the upside. If you entered long, as we said, on some retracement when trend has turned bullish, this red line is the MACD indicator. Okay, it's an MACD predictor when price above the red line, trend is bullish. When price below it, trend is bearish. So if you have entered long on some retracement, suppose that was 3.8 right here with the stop below the C point, as we said in the previous research, then you also will be able to make some profit, although it was much smaller than during the short. Still, in the current price environment, we see that market turns in some consolidation. What target do we have just above the market? The first target is 100% extension from that pattern, A, B, C, as we said. Also, take a look at this most recent ABCD, A, B, C bottom. Market hit 618 shallow retracement. Now market has hit 100% retracement and turns to some flat consolidation. This flat consolidation probably could appear to be the bullish dynamic pressure on the market, since you can see market has changed out the trend to bearish since price action stands now below the red line. Okay, this is the MACD predictor. Well, but price action doesn't support the changing of the trend, so market just stands flat. So currently we can't exclude that probably market still could try to hit these targets, this target or maybe even this target. So that is what we should keep an eye on. So in current environment, to enter short, I think that's a bit early. We have to see either hitting of that area and forming of some sell patterns in that area to have the context for enter short market. In that case, this bullish dynamic pressure will be worked out well, or some significant acceleration to the downside and shifting of the 4-hour trend to the bearish side. In that case, probably we could try to enter short, even despite the fact that market hasn't hit that target. But we need really thrusting move to the downside for that purpose, and absolutely clear understanding that market really thrusting and continue move to the downside. Well, that's our current view on the situation. So if you are bearish, it's probably better to wait the hitting of the target around 138.70, 138.90 area. If you are bullish, well, in that case, probably you could try to take this profit from that potential bullish dynamic pressure pattern, but it's too risky currently, since where will you place your stop? This distance will be somewhere below the market, very significant, and I think that the risk reward ratio will not be so attractive. So I think that it's better to wait for another possibility to enter on the long side of the market. Besides, market now stands very close to the strong area of resistance, so I think that's not a very good idea to enter on the long side. Well, that's all for today. It's really a very choppy and sloppy price action on the intraday charts. We do not see any significant relatively long-term patterns on the daily time frame, for instance. All that we could do is just trade some short-term fib expansions during this really sloppy retracement environment. Okay, so don't risk much and take your profit fast.